What's up, guys? This is Pedro from My Stuttering Life. On this podcast, we are going to talk about our challenges and our triumphs, and so that anyone around the world can truly know that you are not alone. So let's get started. This is episode number 154, and my special guest is Bryan Matthews. He states, I started stuttering when I was around 10 years old. I'm currently the director of training for the United Association of Plumbers, Pipefitters, welders, and service technicians, a local Union 625 in Charleston, West Virginia. I'm the co-leader of the Huntington Marshall University adult chapter for the National Stuttering Association. I have completed multiple Spartan Obstacle course races and have completed 3 Spartan Trifectas. I just recently published the Stuttering Journal, a semi-guided journal for people who stutter. I am honored to have him as a guest with me on the My Stuttering Live podcast. Welcome, Bryan Matthews. How are you, sir?
I'm just fine. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Awesome, sir. So this is a huge honor. We have just a handful of our questions, and then I want to get to your book. Because when I got this book, Holy Mac and Cheese, I said, this is going to be truly awesome for our community. All right. Okay. And so what I want to talk about is I want to go all the way back and just ask you, what was your earliest, a memory of having a stutter?
Yeah. So I think I was probably in 6th grade, and that's my first memory of it. I am probably sure that it happened before that, but I just got to the point to where that I just locked up. I had a real hard block, and I was just confused. I was scared. I didn't know what was going on. And so I mean, I was probably about 10 years old, like somewhere like or around there. Yes.
Are there many other people in your family who also have a stutter?
As far as I know, I am the only one. So I don't know if I'm lucky or whatever, but as far as I know, there's not any on either side.
I got you, sir. I thank you so much. So how was school? Because I mean, woo. So I don't have to tell you, Mr. Matthews, school is rough for everybody, but for us, it's a little bit more challenging. So how did you handle school with having a stutter?
Well, I think after it first happened, and then I was trying to navigate through everything. I think I was really numb. I was confused. And, this was in the late 1900s, as I like to say. This was in the late 1980s, right? And, there wasn't a whole lot known. And then there was, what I had heard was that I was just nervous. I needed to slow down and all of that, right? So it was just very confusing. And then there was quite a bit of I think I look back on it, I think there was quite a bit of like bullying, but I mean, I kind of got mean right back with him too. So it was kind of tit for tat, and so I mean that's kind of how I handled that. I mean, um, I don't know if it was the right way, but that's the only way that I knew how.
See, because we got to do what we got to do to survive.
Exactly right. Yeah.
I tell that to everybody. Okay,
Yeah.
now in school, because I mean, we all had to do this. So because I mean, I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s. So
Yeah.
in school, we had to read out loud. So
Oh yeah.
did you have to do it, and how did it go, sir?
Well, to answer that, yes, there was no exceptions, and it went horribly right in my mind. There was just like, it just wasn't fluent. I wasn't like everyone else. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I mean, it probably hardened me to a certain point, that probably wasn't healthy for a young man of my age at that time.
Sir, I am right there with you. Yeah. I only did it that one time, and you don't ever forget that type of trauma. And so I said it ain't never going to happen again.
Yeah.
I mean, so the whole time that I was in school, if I ever had to read out loud, I spent, I raised my hand, and so
Mm-hmm.
I would go hang out in a restroom stall. So
Mm-hmm.
I did that 12 years in school. I did it in college, and you just don't forget. Yeah, it was
Right.
rough.
Yeah.
It was rough, but hey, you know what? It's called survival. It's called survival.
Yeah.
We have to survive. All right. So, have you ever had speech therapy in school? And if you did, was it helpful?
Yeah. And I had it for probably a short amount of time. And, I didn't like it because they would come and they would pull you out of a class, and then, everybody's, well, they're not really wondering why. They know why, but then, they're like, well, why is it that he's having to like get out of class? And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have a whole lot of memories of it. Um, I do remember telling my mother that I didn't want to do it anymore. And I don't think it was because I wasn't getting anything out of it. It was because like there was no hiding from it, because, I mean, I was very self like conscious of it, and being pulled out of class was just not the like best thing that could have happened then. But I did talk to the lady that I had it with, and I asked her what we mainly worked on, and that was in the late, that there was in the 1980s, and she was like, "I'm old, I can't really remember." But and the reason why that I was asking that was because I was just curious if being fluent was the total goal of it back then. And she said that it wasn't.
Okay, so that is interesting, because when I was in speech therapy in the late 70s, the early 80s, and the whole goal that what I was told is that they had to get me to talk like everybody else.
Wow.
Um, everybody else was fluent, and and so they wanted to get me like everybody else. And so I thought, okay, so I'm broken, I'm damaged, and so
Right.
you are going to help me to talk like everybody else. Oh, I'm like, Yeah, and I mean, and when I was in school, in the early days, we had a
Mm-hmm.
PA. We had a speaker that, you know, that handled the whole school, and that is how they pulled me out. Everyone heard that Pedro Pena is going to the counselor's
Oh,
office
wow.
for speech therapy. It's like the hits
Oh,
just keep on coming. Let me tell you. I'm like,
yeah.
okay, yes, I can have some more. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, you know, it, it happened, you know, in that, uh, um, era. And so, okay. And so I want to switch uh, gears a little bit. So I have on my card here. All right. So, job wise, so you are a director of training. So
Mm-hmm.
tell me, what does all of that entail? Because I have a bunch of questions.
Okay. So, I am a member of the United Association of Plumbers and Pipefitters in Charleston, West Virginia, and I am the current director of training. And as of current, we have about 78 apprentices, and they range from they're in their first year to their last year, which is their fifth year. And we also train in HVAC. We train in plumbing, pipe fitting, welding, industrial rigging, um, all of it basically. So I'm over all of that, and I've only been in this role since September, so it's new. Believe it or not, I've been teaching in this program since around 2007. So I'm not new, but I'm new to running everything. And it's been quite challenging. As you can imagine, there's a lot of phone calls. There's a lot of Zooms. Everybody wanting to, go eat lunch and like all that stuff. So I've had to try to navigate that. I mean, I think I've done fairly well. I mean, it seemed like I have all right days, and then there's some that are, not so all right, not so good.
Oh, Mr. Matthews. I mean, we are a two peas in a pod. Because a teaching, um, what I have learned about it is I love to teach. I do. I
Mm-hmm.
do. It is truly awesome. To all of our teachers out there, all y'all are awesome. Because what I had been told for years, sir, for years, you can't talk, so you cannot teach. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. But I told myself there is a a a, a, a job opening for a trainer teacher, and so I said I will. Um, that is my job, and so I went and I had applied, and then I packed up my whole office and waited. I got the email in which it had told me that I had made it, and then I
Mm-hmm.
had the job interview, and then I got the job. I claimed it, I got it, and I mean, I have to tell you, Mr. Matthews, I love to teach. It is truly awesome. And yes, we do have our challenges, we have our obstacles. However, I go in every day and I am grateful. I have an attitude of gratitude because look what I get to do. Because I thought that I could never. And I mean, when I tell you, after I'm all done teaching, this is all I hear. just like, I
Yeah.
mean, huge applause. It's like, awesome applause. Because yes, I block, I repeat, but it's all good because I still keep on going. And then also how you were talking about the telephones and Zoom and Teams.
Yeah.
We have to adapt, and we do, but it's a difficult journey. So how did you handle all of the calls, and then how did you handle Zoom? Because everyone around the world wants to know how to navigate on Zoom with having a stutter.
So, my first introduction to Zoom was in, I think, 2021, where I am the co-leader of the local National Stuttering Association Light chapter. Um, everything was shut down. So we were trying to meet, and I got to be honest with you, I hated it at first. Like sitting here looking back at myself, and I got to the point to where I was like, I don't want to do it right on Zoom anymore. I want to do it in person, but slowly, it's with like anything, the more I was, I guess, exposed to it, the easier that it was. But it's still difficult because, we live in a world of what I call fluency, right? Like, and anything else is looked upon as what is wrong with you. I was told one time that, and so, um, like I mentioned earlier, I have been like teaching in our local union since like 2007. So I had to go to a bunch of in-person live training up in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And I got told by one of the higher ups in the UA that I needed to probably not do this. And if I was, then I needed to learn how to, learn the proper way to actually speak. And, I just rolled my eyes at him, and um, I'll be honest with you, I don't think I said anything back to him. I just walked away because I don't suffer fools right very well. And I kind of feel like he was a fool right in that moment, because you don't have to be fluent to be a good communicator. I know I know some folks right now, they are as fluent as the day is long, and they're not good communicators.
Oh, Mr. Matthews, what happened to you happened to me in COVID. I was
Oh, wow.
on Zoom. Um, everything was all locked down, and so I gave a 2-hour Zoom presentation, and here, I mean, there are people in this world who will go out of their way to harm you, hurt you, da da da.
Mm-hmm.
So I was horrible on Zoom, horrible, horrible, horrible. And so then this woman had made it her job to go speak to my boss, and asked and told her, "Do you know you have a person who cannot talk?"
Wow.
I love my boss, and um, so if you are listening, I want to thank you because she was awesome. She had the best answer to handle that individual, but I mean, there are some people who, I mean, I don't know why, but they have to go out of their way to put you down. But I, like you, I keep on moving. I keep on trucking. Okay, because I know, and that I am awesome, and that you, sir, are truly awesome. And so now, how I handle everyone on Zoom is I have an ice breaker. I tell everyone it is not your internet connection. If I freeze, Pedro got a block. And that's it.
Yeah.
It's Pedro. It is not your interweb connection. It's just Pedro having a block, and I will get over it. I will get over it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I like you. I practiced, I mean, I kept on doing it day after day after day after day. And each day got just like an eighth better and better, but, I mean, yeah, it is rough. It is rough, but I mean, we don't quit. We keep on going.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, you know, life, it knocks us down, but we keep on getting back up. We keep on getting back up. So so that is awesome that you are a director of training. That is phenomenal. That is awesome, sir. Awesome. Okay, now, so you had also made a really awesome comment, and that you are a co-lead, a leader of the MSA in your area. So how does one go about, helping and joining and doing that? Because I mean, that is like truly awesome.
So the first NSA meeting that I ever went to, there was a chapter in Morgantown, which is from where I'm at is probably almost 3 hours. And I was in and I think mentally and physically, I was in a place to where I felt like I was just alone. And I don't know how I even found it. I guess I was searching on the internet. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make that drive. So I took half a day off, and I ended up driving up there. And I was sitting outside right in the, I was sitting outside in the parking lot, and I just about pulled out. I was like, I could, it was like I could not go. Nobody would ever know. I could lie, all of that, right? But I ended up walking in, and that was the first time I'd ever been in a room that had like folks in it like me. And, this was probably, and I'm horrible on these dates, this was probably 2012, 2013. And the impact that it made, that I went back several times. And then, the place I was working at, then I would be working kind of up in that area. So I'd always make it a point. If I was up there, then I was going to overnight. And so that kind of got me going. And I was like, well, we need one right in this area. So I went through everything, and I advertised it the best way that I knew how back then. And no one, I had one email, and whenever I emailed this person back, never heard anything. So I let that, so that was probably, I don't know, that was probably 2015. And then in 2020, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it now. I'm going to try one more time. And it just so happened to work out. There was a assistant professional or professor at Marshall University. She was also looking into it. So we inquired around the same time. So it really worked out great. And it's been like the meetings is some of the greatest joy right in my life. I mean, I have never left one and said, man, I wish I hadn't showed up. They're always just as great. You know, and something that I have noticed, we all kind of live the same lives, but we don't know it. You know, you and we have a lot of things right in it. You know, we have a lot of things in common, and you're in Texas, and I'm here right in the mountains, right? And who would think that, right? And it's just some of the most like tough people that I've ever met, and just so smart. I mean, just, I mean, they are all just like, they read books just like crazy, right? And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to keep up with them. You know what I mean? And it's just been, I mean, it's been wonderful. I would recommend it to like anybody if you can, if you can find a local chapter near your home, you have to go. I mean, it's been one of the best things that I have ever put any effort into, for sure.
See, and that is truly awesome, because I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the growing up, I did not meet another person who stuttered until I was in my 20s. And Bryan, it happened on the street. I walked over, and so here in Texas, we say howdy, hello, da da da. And so I could not, I mean, it would not come out. And so I just held out my hand, and then he held out his hand, and I could see it in his eyes, Bryan. I could see it in his eyes. He could not say hello like I could not say hello. And he was about to tear up. And then I was, I had my tears already. And so what I had said was, I know. And
wow.
I mean, it's like, and that was a powerful, because, there is another person like me out there. And it was truly awesome. And we became a really good, buddies. And so I am just happy, that we have that in the MNSA. There are local chapters, and so we have one here in Houston, and so I will reach out, because I mean, what I tell everybody is that we, as in people who stutter, we are creative, we are courageous, we are resilient, and we are resourceful, because we have to be, because we have to survive. I tell everybody, we have to work 500 times harder than everybody else on the most simplest of tasks. We have to work so much harder than everybody else.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I am happy to hear that you have a group in your local area, because I mean, we have to help out each other. I truly
Yeah.
believe that we have to help each other because that is why I am here on this earth, is to help other people. That is the only reason why I am here. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so I want to ask you a hot topic question. Okay, and I mean, ooh, I ask everybody. The answers are split right down the middle from all over the world. I respect everyone's answers. So, Mr. Bryan Matthews, so here is your hot topic question. So, uh, do you let uh, uh, mothers help you finish your sentences? Dun dun dun.
Um, I'm going to say that I used to, but anymore, no. Um, and I think for me, it's probably more of a like pride thing now than it is for like anything else, right? But and I think whenever I was younger, I just wanted out of it. I wanted to be through with it. And if anybody wanted to, say, well, this is what he really meant, or and then I would be like, oh, all right. But I think like afterwards, it felt a little bit hollow because it was like, well, I mean, I really didn't do it and I had to have help. And I never did like that feeling. So, but anymore, if anybody would happen to, I would, and like I always say, well, thank you, but I would have, I would have actually finished it anyway. So, I mean, I try not to be mean anymore.
Sir, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. And so, because I do a 4 hour PowerPoint presentation, trainings. And so behind me is a big old screen that has all of the PowerPoint slides. And so, I mean, I get hung up, but it's behind me. And so I have a clicker. And so I'll hit the red dot. If someone from the
Oh,
audience
yeah.
will help me out, I said, thank you very much. Let's move on.
Yeah.
I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah. Right.
It's called survival. But I mean, it's all good. It's all good.
It is.
I don't even worry about it. I don't even worry about it. Okay. So here's a deep question I ask everybody. I respect everyone's answers because, everybody's different, but I just have to ask you, sir. So, do you consider stuttering as a disability?
So I've thought about this, and then I think we had this in one of our NSA, like, back several years ago. I think we had this as one of our meeting live topics. And I want to say yes, but I don't necessarily feel that way. But I think if you look at it, and I think it is, but the issue is that you can't see it and you can't touch it, right? And I mean, I think now, I mean, like I said earlier, we live in a fluent world, right? Like there's not any room for like anything else. And I think it is, but would I say that? I don't know. I mean, that's a really good, complicated question that really makes you think. I mean, I don't want to be labeled as it, but I am it. So if that makes any sense, I'm kind of riding both sides of it, but I think it is. I mean, I really, truly do. I mean, because, I know what it's like. You know what that it's like. And, Um, you know, should it be labeled like that? I mean, I think at times, yeah, that it should.
I thank you, sir, for that. I thank you. So, so, what was a challenge speech wise that you had to overcome, and how did you do it?
Oh, well, I mean, the hardest thing that's been for me for years is saying my own name. I mean, that's just that. I mean, that is like Superman's kryptonite, right? Have no idea why. I've thought about it. I fought it. And it's just how it is. And, um, I like, I don't think I've truly overcome it yet, but I do have moments where that it's good and then moments where that it's not. And it's like, it's just so simple, but yet it's so hard. Um, so the way that I try to get through it is, and this is just what I've, you know, what I have noticed that works for me is if I try to talk in a lower voice, in a lower tone, it seems like that it's easier because I noticed, and this has been years back that for whatever reason, I kind of talked loud and then, and so if I don't talk as loud, then it's easier, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yes, sir, it does. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I thank you for that. So, you've you've talked about it's in bits and pieces, but I want the entire answer. So here's the official question. So, do you believe it's okay to stutter, or is it important to keep on chasing a fluency?
All right. So, um, so I think for myself, I'll never be 100% fluent. Okay. So at that point, you're chasing something that's not there and you're always just going to fail. Right. Um, so I think, I mean, for years I was I was a stone cold covert. I mean, and that works till it doesn't, right? And whenever there that it doesn't, man, I mean, it blows up something spectacular. But I mean, I don't try to be fluent anymore. I just try to navigate the best that I can. And I'm at the age now to where, you could think to what you think of me, whatever all right. Like you don't know what I've been through, what I have to do and like all that stuff. Right. So if you want to think ill of me or you think that I'm less than, or, that I'm nervous all the time, then you go ahead and you can think that way. It don't bother me anymore. But I mean, I think chasing fluency is not healthy because I know that I tried it for like a long time. And, and whenever there that it actually fails, then for me, it wasn't a minor setback. It was a major setback. And then you'd have to build back up. Then you'd have another like quote unquote failure. And I just got tired of just living that way. I mean, it was physically exhausting along with the whole mental factor. And then you were kind of dancing around everybody else's feelings, right? Because something that I learned that I have projected my own feelings onto like others to where they might not be thinking nothing to what I'm thinking that they're thinking, right? And I don't do that anymore. Or, well, I say I don't. At least I am a little bit more like conscious of it and I don't do it as much.
Ooh, sir, I am right there with you. I am at that age. whatever happens, happens. You know,
Yeah.
I have been through it all. I've tried everything. And voodoo, I tried voodoo. It didn't work. And, you know, it's like, I mean, it is what it is. I
Right.
have no control. It's random. It pops up
Hmm.
whenever it wants to. And, you know, I just, it is what it is.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
life goes on. Life goes on.
That's exactly right.
All right. So here is a really a deep one. And I mean, it really hits into the heart. What has your stutter taught you?
So I think the first thing that it actually has is that I think it's a great litmus test into the listener's character. Okay. I think you can tell a lot about someone on how they react to it, right? Good or good or bad, right? Um, you know, um, and I think also that it has taught me to just keep going, just keep heading up the mountain, keep climbing, keep moving. You're going to get knocked down. Somebody's going to make fun of you. You're going to miss a opportunity or something over it, but you just got to keep going. And, um, you know, um, and I think also, and I think it's helped me be a more or have more empathy for like others to where, back whenever I was younger, I mean, I was probably, I was probably pretty angry over it. And if there was somebody that was going to lash out, then I would hit them probably twice as hard back, in like whatever way. And I think it's definitely like taught me that we don't know what the other person's actually like going through, no matter what it is, right? I mean, you have no clue whatsoever. And it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't hurt anything to give anybody a little bit of grace.
Ooh, sir, that's awesome. That's awesome. Because, I mean, I told everybody, all I want is patience and grace. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I'm not asking for too much, am I? No,
Not.
no, no, no. All right. So if you could go back in time to when you were like 6 or 8 years old, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Wow. Yeah. So that's a great question. I mean, I'm going to have to tell you that. I mean, because that really makes you think, right? But I think I would probably go back and I would say, listen, you are going to be just fine. You just be you. Everything's going to work out. No need to worry because, you know, I, w- I always worried about the next speaking situation. And a lot of times I would figure out a way that I could get out of it. I would make something up or like whatever. And I mean, I'm not really that proud of it, but in a way, I mean, I look at it as that's what we had to do, right? But I would tell the younger, mm, I would tell the younger me to, man, you're actually going to be just fine. Don't let anybody get you down.
Ooh, okay, that's awesome, sir. That is awesome. Okay, now I want to get to your book because, okay, so I will have this up on YouTube. I will have an audio version and a video version. So
Okay.
so to all you out there, just hang on. I will have it on YouTube on an audio version. But I'm holding up his awesome book. And when I say that this is an awesome book. Uh, it just hits hard. It hits hard because had I had this when I was in school, it would have made
Mm-hmm.
things so much easier. If
Mm-hmm.
I had this, in college, if I had this in the military, in the U.S. Air Force, I mean, just, it would have helped me. It would have saved me. And so what I am talking about is you have written a book. It's a journal. It's called the Stuttering Journal. And it is truly awesome, Mr. Matthews. I
Thank you.
mean, you just wait until after we're all done. I am going to order 20 more. This is truly, truly awesome. And so here is what I want to ask you: the why, the how, just, how did this all come about?
Okay. Well, so I think I probably started working on this probably 2 years or so back, right? And it had several different versions, and I never was really satisfied. And um, it just, and, you know, trying to get something right on Amazon is not as easy as what I thought that it was going to be. And so I was navigating through right all that. And then at that time, I was probably working 50, 60 hours a week. And, so I would work on it some and then I would come back and then I'd want to change it. And then, so, last January of 25, I was like, I am going to get buckled down on it and I'm going to get it done. Well, it just so happened, about January the 10th, my father there, that he was having some health issues and he was in and out of the hospital rehab centers. So I really didn't get to really work on it like I wanted to. And then sadly, he passed right in April. And so after that, I just wasn't motivated. And then I was just like, you know what? I just have to do it. Um, so I finally did. And I had some other folks look at it and they kind of edited some of it for me. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to put it out there. So, yeah, so it's probably been 2.5 years just to get to this point. The why is, is, you know, I never had anybody that I could truly have an honest conversation with. And the times that I tried, everybody went into fix it mode. And they were like, oh, I wouldn't let that bother me. You don't stutter that bad. And that's not what I needed. And, I don't want to say that it was a secret, but my family has never really sat down and had a honest conversation with me on it. I've tried to initiate it some, but like I said, everybody wants to go into fix it mode. And if you could fix it, you and I would not be sitting here, right? And then I was thinking, well, rather there than just, have it and you actually do it, then I need to share it with someone, that I work with, my family, and let them read it. And, you know, to me, that was the scariest part. And I thought about not even adding that in there, kind of as a option, right? Because you're really putting yourself out there, right, in ways for myself that I've not had like, I've not had any honest conversations with a lot of people. Now, the folks in my NSA group, I mean, that's what we do, but I think if we let folks read it, if you let your wife or your husband or your kids or your boss or like whatever, I think they'll get a true picture of what it's really like. And, I know there are some apps out there to where you can like journal, but to me, if you got to physically write it down, you're going to think about it more. And I think you're going to be a lot more honest. And, we all look at our phones probably too much anyway. And I think if we're honest, and I'm going to have, and like, it was hard for me to really be truly honest in it for a little while, because I was like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm going to let somebody else read this. I better not put this. But then I'm like, well, wait a minute. This is the whole point. Because, you like, I feel like that we have to be 100% honest with it. The good, the bad, the ugly, right? And only at that point that other people are going to truly get a picture of it and understand what it's like. And I feel like that was something that I was craving and I was needing. And I think that's why that I went down this path. And, I mean, it's, for me, like, it's not as easy to fill out as what you would think, because some of those little prompts, I mean, you have to think about them. And that was kind of my whole point, is like, rather there than just, kind of gloss over everything, it's like, think about it, write it down. You have to be honest. What is it that you sucked at that day, and what could you do better the next day? And I mean, I think it's helped me, like, just in writing this. And then also, I get to like fill it out too, right? And I mean, it's just been a great help.
See, and I'm, because this is for me. This is for Pedro. This is for Pedro, who has a stutter. And so I wrote just a couple of things on my note card that just hit me as I was in your awesome a journal book. It's helping you to not keep it in, because I don't have to tell you. I mean, every day is exhausting, physically, mentally, psychologically, just draining every single day, and you cannot keep it in. You cannot. And with having a journal, just put it all down. You just have it out of your head, and then it'll go all the way into your arm, into your hand, into the pen, onto the book, and it is out of you. And so now it is you have it in a book. Okay. And then also it is a great stress reliever. Because I mean, with everything, I mean, we all have the pressures, to talk right, to speak fluently, and it's just not in the cards for Pedro. And then also you can unpack the hard days. We have hard days. We have our good days. We have our not so good days. And so if you are having a hard day, guess what? You now have a journal. You put all that stuff down. And then here is a awesome aspect is, that that uh, if you want to, okay, you, you, you can spot patterns, like a
Oh yeah.
trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And then also it will help you to build confidence. Also, you are owning your own voice in this really awesome book and tracking your journey. And it is a true uh, 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 affirmation because it's in your book. It is in your book that you hand wrote. It
Mm-hmm.
is a daily affirmation in which, you can 100% relate to. So I want to tell everybody, I will have the hyperlinks on everything, all of my whole website, my
Well,
podcast
thank you.
on
Yeah.
YouTube. It'll be on everything because everyone, I mean, ugh, if I had this when I was 12 years old or 13 years old, I wouldn't have been in a dark place. And so I want to tell everybody around the world, that we have a journal for us, for us. You are my people, you are my tribe, and I have a book
Yeah.
to help out Pedro, and it is truly awesome, sir. I don't have any other words, but this is just,
Well, thank you so much.
because I don't know if you have ever thought about this, but there is a person in Australia, in Germany, you know, uh, in Brazil, who is like us, and now they have a tool. It's a tool. And so I think that is truly awesome, sir. And so I just have to tell you, sir, I've had the best time talking to you, sir. We've had an awesome conversation, and so I have to tell you this. So I am blessed to have a podcast in 141 countries on 6 continents. So
Oh,
if
wow.
anyone around the world, if they wanted to reach out to you, what would be the best way?
I'm really not big on like, I'm really not big right on like, hey, Facebook, but, I am on there. My email would probably be the best way. Um, but like I said, I'm really not big right on like social media. I am on there because that you have to be in this day and age, but they can also reach out there. I don't have any of the links off the top of my head as far as on the Facebook, so I do apologize
No, sir. No, no, no.
on that.
So it is all good. So that would be your homework. So just email me all
Okay,
of the all
I
of
will.
the hyperlinks, and then I will have that our in our uh, podcast show notes. And so I just have to tell you, sir, just one more time. This was a huge honor to have an opportunity to speak with you, and you're awesome. A book I want to tell everybody. So I will have the hyperlinks. I want y'all to go and get this awesome journal. It's called the Stuttering Journal. So everyone around the world, it's a tool. It's a tool to help us on our journey. And so, sir, I want
Yeah,
to thank you just one more time. And down the road, I want to do it again because I have 100
I do
of
too.
questions to ask you, sir. Because you are
That would be great.
you
Yeah.
are truly awesome, sir. I thank you, thank you, thank you.
You are very welcome, and thank you for the invite, and I think we live in a amazing time where you're in Texas and I'm here in West Virginia, and here we are sitting here face to face, and we never would have had this back whenever that we were like kids. So, this is awesome.
Thank you, sir. I hope you have a great weekend. Take care, be well, and stay safe.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
If you like this podcast, head on over to Apple Podcasts. Subscribe, rate, and review. Thank you for listening, and we will talk again.